Okay, so now that you have your topic approved and you have seen the directions that you have to do, the flip side of your argument, I wanted to clarify and show you an actual student example of how this works. This student wrote this paper for me this past semester. She has given me permission to use it. And so when she originally submitted her topic, it was that everyone should be required to get vaccinated. That was approved. So therefore, for paper one, she had to flip it. So she had to be against vaccines. So I want you to think of paper one as kind of a pre-paper. Going into our main research paper is where you're going to write a substantially substantially longer paper with paper two. So I have posted another example. It's different. I just want to give you guys lots of different resources that you'll see that you're going to have an intro and you're going to pull out that thesis paragraph. So it's really clear. It's going to serve as a map for the rest of your paper. So I want to walk through this and show you the differences in paper one and paper two. So here's paper one. MLA format. We have the header. We have a heading. The title. There's no extra spacing. Nothing's bolded. Nothing is bigger. And so right here, we have a source, and after the end of every source, you have to do this. In-text citations, you have to put those parentheses. So we have an intro here that slowly leads into the topic. For paper one, a one-paragraph intro will work. Now remember, you're not putting your thesis here. It's still going at the end of your intro. You're just going to pull it out and make it a separate paragraph. So you have to make sure you have a source, and then we get to our thesis. So your thesis is going to contain your map. You're going to have more than one sentence. Your first sentence is going to be your overall thesis. Though parents may be advised to have their children vaccinated, that may not always be the best choice. That's the overall thesis. A, not always effective. B, they go against religious beliefs. And C, harmful side effects. So we have a very clear map, a very clear A, B, and C. Then we get down here. Not always effective. So all of this paragraph is A. So I'm going to scroll through this and I'm going to come up. So we have A, we have B, we have that transition. Not only are they not always effective, they go against religious beliefs. That was the B that was listed in the thesis map, the thesis paragraph. Come down here, and then we have C. Vaccines are not always effective, go against religious beliefs. And finally, they can cause harmful side effects. And we have C, and we have a one paragraph conclusion. So now I want to go back up and just point some things out. This paper is shorter than the first one. I already noted that. You have to have a source or two in every paragraph. So this is a book, so it's in italics. Author, page number. You always have to use the page number. If it's one page article, then you would put the paragraph number. If you have a paragraph number, it's PARA, and then the paragraph number. Here's another source. This would be a summary here. We have global health, the title with a page number. So go through all of this. We have a quote. We have author et al. Because there's more than one author. Page number. So I want you to go through and look at this paper for ideas as a guide. When you do your personal interview, it always goes like this. You're going to put the name first, then you're going to put their credibility. Tammy Williams, who recently got the flu vaccine, and then she gave a summary of what she said, and then at the end here we have Williams again. A personal interview is the only source that is going to use the last name twice, one here and one here, because it lets your audience know via MLA format that, hey guys, this is a personal interview, without you coming out and saying, hey, this is a personal interview. So come down to the works cited. It's in alphabetical order. It's works cited. There's no extra space. So make sure that you're following that guide. That we have things that are in italics, things that are in quotes. Periods go in certain places. The author always comes first. If there's not an author, you skip it. All of this is in the Alpretty website. There's examples for everything. So you go to that website that's posted, and then you click on book, and it shows you exactly how to do it. It gives you example, and it tells you step by step how to do it. So make sure that you look at that. Personal interview, this is the easiest one. Last name, comma, first name, period. The date you interviewed him, period. Flip it. Last name, comma, first name, period. Personal interview, period. And then the date you interviewed him, period. So that's how you do that. So this is paper one. We're going to spend more time on paper one because we're learning how to do all of these things. Paper two, we're going to knock out quicker because I don't need to reteach you these elements. So once we get done with this paper, then we get to move on to paper two. That's how you really feel. So I want to point out the differences. So that one was the negative. This one is the positive. If you look at the first page, the first paper was about 900, right under 1,000 words. This is about 2,000 words. So it's a lot longer. So if you look here, all of the elements are doubled. So we have the intro, all of the sources, she's used them all the same. We have another intro paragraph, and then we get to the thesis paragraph. So now you're going to have two intro paragraphs and then your thesis paragraph. All children, adults, and elders should be vaccinated against any and everything possible. That's the overall thesis. Now we have our A, B, and a C are in separate sentences. Vaccines' positive sides definitely outweigh. Vaccines reduce the amount of sickness. They are safe and effective, and it saves time and money. So now let me go back over and go over this thesis paragraph. Writing is very ambiguous, and what may work for you may not work for somebody else. You may want to structure yours different. This person has a 2-sentence thesis and a 3-sentence map. So that makes this one 5 sentences. So I'm going to say that again. This person has a 2-sentence overall thesis, which is fine, and then a 3-sentence map. You may have a 1-sentence thesis, and that's okay. The other example that's up, that's only a 1-sentence overall thesis. But let's look at this. They should be vaccinated against everything and anything possible. Vaccines side positive outweighs the negative. So 2-sentence thesis, and then we go into the A. Then we have the B, and then we have the C that starts with finally. That helps with that transition. Now each of her A, B, and C have 2 paragraphs. So this is A. Notice the sources. I'm going to post these up for examples. This is still A. So this is when you get to paper 2, the main one, you're really going to have to think about your outline, how you're going to organize it to have 2 focused paragraphs per point. That's why this one is harder and this is worth more points. So this one is all about vaccines reduce the sickness that one person or their family can encounter. So you can go through and you can read this. You can look at how she's used her sources. So then let's come down here. Now we have a B. They're safe. Now we're on to our B. Our B. Safe and effective. That was her B. That gives her 2 paragraphs. So then come down to the C. It can save money. Come back down here. We have, I lost my place. Let me come back up here. So I'm going to start from the top. Intro, thesis. So our A, reduce the amount of sickness. B, safe and effective. They can save time and money. So we have an A and we have an A. We have a B. We have a B. And we have a C. And we have a C. And now we have a conclusion. If you have, say you have your A, 2 paragraphs, your B, 2 paragraphs, and your C, maybe you only have 1, and you meet the word count. That's okay. This is just a guide. You do not have to have yours be a mirror image of this, but it does give you an idea of how to structure this research paper. So you can go through and look at how this person has used the sources and go through. It's very consistent with the works cited. The one feedback that I did give on this was to go through and make this undo the blue and undo the underline. But it just goes to show you that a paper doesn't have to be perfect to be an exceptional research paper. So I hope this helps verify, or not verify, but explain fully explain what we're doing here. So if you have questions, then let me know.